Better Daily, where we work hard in our minds, bodies, and our spirits to become 1% better every single day. Download the app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live to catch the video version of these podcasts. Here's your host and my dad, Alex Van Houten.
What is up, Betterment family? This is Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Live. Happy Monday. It's Mindset Monday, and I'm really excited to share our mindset with you today. Before I get there, happy 10th day of the Faithful 40 Challenge. We are just finishing up the integrity phase of the Faithful 40 Challenge. We've been journaling our food. We've been counting our steps. We've been listening to the Better Daily Shortcast, and so Here it is, the Better Daily Shortcast, and now we are entering what I call the grit stage of the Faithful 40 Challenge. The grit stage, this is the stage, days 11 through 20. So when we finish up today, the 10th day, we're going to enter the 11th through 20th day of the Faithful 40 Challenge. I call it the grit stage because if you're going to fall off the wagon, if you're going to stop journaling your mindset and keeping track of your nutrition and trying to make change, and you forget to do your exercise thing, if you're going to do that, it happens at this point. In fact, there is a statistic recently where 22% of people who make a New Year's resolution will actually completely give up on it by the 7th day. So I know we're on the 10th day, but within the first week, about a quarter of people will fall out of that. And that's no bueno. And so today's mindset is get hungry. Get hungry. And I say get hungry because, well, this actually goes to a fasting practice, which we'll talk about in a second. But here's the thing, right? So if somebody has a New Year's resolution or a New Year's commitment or whatever you want to call it, you have a thing that just happens to coincide with the turning of the new year, and you know that it would be beneficial in your life and good and in keeping with the person that you know you were created to be. You have this thing that you're going to do. It just happens to be on the new year. You can call it what you want. And so you go to do that thing. Maybe you are exercising on a regular basis. Maybe you are calling a friend every other afternoon. Maybe you're writing letters. Maybe you're reading books. Maybe you're not eating carrot cake anymore. Maybe you've put down alcohol. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But maybe you've made a decision about that thing. So you know you need it, right? You know this matters. You know this is important to you. Now, there's this thing where if it's not so important that you'll keep up with it, that it falls by the wayside eventually. And I'm not indicting you. I'm saying that what happens is life happens. There are other things in the world that require our attention. There are other things that come our way, right? Maybe those things are trivial. Maybe work gets really busy, or maybe our spouse isn't on board with our resolution or commitment that we've made. Maybe we've underestimated how difficult this will be. Or let's say you've decided I'm going to go for a walk every day of 2022. And you're like, okay, great. And then it's 16 degrees this morning. And you're like, I didn't really plan for 16-degree weather when I made this commitment. So how now, brown cow? And so you fall by the wayside. Those are trivial things, right? And maybe it's not so trivial. Maybe you lose a family member. Maybe you get sick yourself. Maybe something else happens that really throws a wrench in your ability to get after this thing. And so my mindset for you today is get hungry. Get hungry. Because when we know we need to do something, or we know we want something, we can do that thing for a short period of time. That's called motivation. It doesn't last very long. And I've spoken before about how discipline can actually beat motivation. How if you go, okay, let's say I'm motivated to work out, so I'm going to work out every day in 2022, and, a weekend you're like, working out's stupid, and I don't have time for this. But discipline says, no matter what, come hell or high water, I don't care if I feel like it or not, I'm getting up every morning at 6 a.m. and I'm going for a walk. And discipline will do that, because you'll wake up at 6 a.m. and there will be some days where you're like, man, this walk's been so good for me. I'm really looking forward to it. What a beautiful day. And there will be some days where you wake up at 6 a.m. and you step foot out the door and you're like, I don't feel like doing this. I don't want to do this. Ugh. But I said I was going to do it, so I'm going to do it. I'm doing it right now. And that's what discipline is. But there's something that's even more motivating, inspiring, enduring, perhaps, than discipline. And that is hunger. Hunger is this thing where all the way down inside of you, you feel empty until it's filled. You need something so bad that you're hungry for it. Like we say we're hungry with regard to food, right? I'm hungry for blank. And that word hungry takes on a bigger meaning the longer you've gone without food, right? So if it's been since lunchtime and it's dinner time, you're like, man, I'm hungry for dinner. I'm hungry for dinner. Maybe it's after dinner time and you're hungry for some ice cream. You're hungry. It's like little hungry. It's like little H hungry. But maybe you fasted. Maybe it's been 24 hours since your last meal. Maybe it's been 36 hours since your last meal. Maybe you had a workout in there somewhere. Maybe you had a really active day. Maybe you haven't eaten anything all day. And now you're hungry. Now you're big H hungry. Like, I'm so hungry I can eat a wildebeest. I think that's what Simba says in The Lion King. Anyway, I'm big H hungry. Then there's hungry in all quiet caps. And this is the hungry where food's not going to do it. It's like a longing. It's a desire inside of you for something that's bigger than food, that overarches your entire life, and it hurts inside. That's a hunger pain. It hurts inside that it's not there. And that's the kind of hungry that I'm talking about. In the New Testament, before Jesus starts his ministry, he goes on a 40-day fast. He goes into the wilderness, and the devil tempts him. He says, if you're the Son of God, you can turn these stones into bread, and you can fix this whole hunger thing. And so Jesus says, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. And he's quoting Deuteronomy. And in Deuteronomy, this is God speaking to the Israelites. O Israel, I let you go, I'm paraphrasing a bit, but he says something along these lines. I let you go in the desert with manna and quail, hungry, so that you might know that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. In other words, hunger is temporary, because you're going to eat and then you're going to get hungry again. That's how the body works. But there's a hunger in people that's deeper than food. There's a hunger in you that's deeper than food. There's a hunger for things in your life that matter way more than your next meal. And I'm not speaking esoterically. Go look in the mirror and ask yourself, what am I hungry for? What do I desire more than food in my life? Because I promise you do. You might be a dad who wants the best for his kids. And I'm telling you, you want that more than you want steak. You want it more than you want bourbon. You want that more than you want coffee. Like you want your kids to live a powerful, full life. You want to see them manifest everything that God created them to be. You want to see them marry the right woman or the right man. You want to see them happy. You want to see them doing some meaningful and good work. You want to see them overcome difficult things. You want to see them be a leader in their communities. You're hungry for that, right? Or maybe you're hungry for a resolution in some sort of thing in your life that you need healing from, that you've been carrying your whole stinking life and you're so freaking sick of it. It's driving you crazy. And I'm not talking about physical pain here. I'm talking about something that you've been carrying and you've been covering up with food and you've been covering up with addiction, and it keeps you up at night and you want to say it. You need to say it out loud so bad, and you're hungry for that thing. You need it more than food. That's the hungry I'm talking about. And the reason I'm telling you to get hungry is because hunger is even more powerful than discipline. Remember, motivation's fleeting. You got a couple days tops that you're going to feel motivated, and then it'll come in spurts. Discipline is very long lasting. Discipline is the drivenness to do what you say you're going to do, to play this game with the hand you've been dealt by your own stinking rules, by the rules you say you live by, and you do that. Discipline is that way. It's an unyielding and gritty effort. But hunger is there every day. And it's not only there every day, but it's deep and it's abiding, and you can't get rid of it. You can't get rid of it. And so the mindset is, get hungry. What are you hungry for? What are you hungry for, really? It might be something as simple as, I'm hungry for a better relationship with my spouse this year. I'm hungry for those difficult conversations that we need to have that have been swept under the rug too long. Maybe too much time spent sitting side by side in the same room on our phones when we need to put those suckers down and have a difficult talk. Not a bad talk, just a difficult talk. Saying the hard thing. Maybe you're hungry for community. And there are friendships and relationships that you need to be working diligently, pouring into, seeking out, and showing up for. Maybe you're hungry for time spent with your kids or grandkids. Maybe you're hungry for better health. Whatever you're hungry for, I encourage you. Get hungry. Let yourself be hungry for that. And if you do have to go without food for a little bit, to remember what it's like to be deeply hungry. Not many of us have been deeply hungry in the relative past. And do it. I'm going to go without food until I'm very, very clear about the relationships I'm hungry for. I'm going to go without food until I'm ready to have this difficult conversation with my spouse. I'm going to go without food until it's real clear in my head what I as a dad need to do to lead my children down the path that I'm hungry for in their life. I encourage you to do that because that's the coolest thing about getting hungry. Motivation, you can watch some, crazy shows and get some good music going and okay, boom, I feel motivated. And discipline is hard. You gotta muster it from deep down inside of you and you gotta get after it. But hunger just happens naturally. Hunger is one of the few things that you don't have to do jack for. In fact, the less you try to go get food, the hungrier you'll get. So don't cook, don't eat. Don't grab snacks, stay out of the pantry, and get hungry. Get very clear about what you're hungry about, and get after it. Remember, man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. When you are hungry to get after the desires of your heart that have been placed there for a good reason, my prayer is that you'll be filled. Thank you so much for joining me on Mindset Monday. This has been Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Live, and tomorrow we're going to dive into Nutrition Tip Tuesday, and I'm very excited about that. Until then, it's just 1%. You got this.
Thank you for joining us for 1% Better today. Don't forget to subscribe for the podcast. Leave us a raving review to tell others how Better Daily has helped you in your journey. If you want more Better Daily, download our app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live. Use code POD to get 25% off your subscription. That's POD, all caps, to save 25% on your subscription. We all have a cross to carry. It's lighter when we do it together. Go to betterdaily.live today.